All right, so now I've gone to back up the trailer. Very important to make sure that you have this tongue, you can visually look at it, and before you start backing up the trailer, you visually make sure that this is well clear of the ball, because if you hit this and you drive into it, you're gonna knock this off the wood block. We don't wanna do that. So I wanna make sure we have clearance. It doesn't have to line up extremely perfectly. You'll find that when you go to back your vehicle up, and then you look like you're perfect, then you put it in park, the vehicle's gonna, you know, rock forward, rock backwards a little bit. But as long as we can start letting this crank down and it starts to fall onto the hitch, or onto the ball, then we'll be good. We can wiggle the vehicle, we can wiggle that, and it'll pop right on. So let's do that. All right, so we just lowered this on, and I'm gonna keep going, and keep going. Oh, that's raising. See the bottom's coming up. I want it all the way up. And I can just easily pull on this, disconnect it, remove the wood. We're good. Reconnect this. Put that in the compartment, put that in the compartment. So now that I have the tongue on the ball, I'm just going to lock that into place like so. We've got this in the downward position so it's not in the way. Now we've got the chains. You want to take one from the left side, go underneath over to the right, and latch that in. Pause it for a second.
Okay.
So we've got the left chain here. We're going to go underneath, connect it on the right side. Take the right side from underneath. We call it bird nesting. Connect that in there. And I'll double check it. It doesn't look like it's crossed properly. So let's make sure we want it to cross underneath. Double check that. Then we've got our 7-prong plug. Pause it. All right, so that's our receptor, our prong there, 7-prong. This is going to be again for the brake lights and to operate the brakes on the trailer. So that's where the Bluetooth brake controller. If your vehicle does not have one already built in, then you'll need this Bluetooth brake controller. You'll download the CURT app. It's got the PIN number right inside here. You'll be able to plug this in to your 7-prong receiver, like so. And you also want to make sure that when we go to plug this in, just tuck this in right here. That way this cable stays on top, therefore supporting this fairly loose connection. We want to make sure that we keep this flat and stable. Like so. If this goes underneath, then you're going to have kind of a dragging Bluetooth connector, and it could, who knows, come off and you'll lose it. We don't want that to happen. So let's keep that supported up like this, like so. And you'll see a little green light come on saying it's connected, and you turn on your app, the CURT app, brake controller app, and you'll be able to test the brakes and test the lights in the rear. Pause it.
Okay.
This is extremely important. Again, I want to have this run across the top over here, just again to keep it from dragging, because if you put it underneath, it's going to be dragging on the ground. So bring it over top, and this is going to be your emergency brake in the event that something happens and you become detached, or you have to emergency swerve, whatever the case is. When this gets pulled, we're going to attach this to the carabiner. If this all else fails, this will emergency stop the trailer. So we're just going to squeeze that in there, like so, and then tighten it back up.
Okay.
So again, just a total recap. Make sure that this is disconnected. When you bring the vehicle back, make sure the tongue is higher than the ball so you don't hit the trailer and knock it off its block. Once it's secure and you've lowered it, lock that in place, and then start making your connections. Left side chain to the right side chain underneath to the left side. Plug in the brake controller, plug in your prong set for your backlighting and your brakes, and then plug in your emergency, connect that to the carabiner. So you should be all set up and ready to roll. Let's go to the interior of the vehicle.